Now let us solve this example 2.6 in which we will see that how different process alternatives can be developed and how we can actually choose between those process alternatives. Now we are provided with a mixed feed stream of methanol, ethanol and water. The percentages are provided here by the following dehydration reactions, and these are some of the reactions that took place. Methanol can be converted into dimethyl ether, which is a desired product, and the reaction is exothermic. We are provided with the ethanol that is into this mixed feed stream, and we can get the diethyl ether, which is a valuable byproduct. And similarly, we can have the ethanol conversion into the ethylene, which is a less valuable byproduct. So dimethyl ether is the main product that we require here, and then we can have the valuable byproduct in the form of diethyl ether, and less valuable byproduct it could be ethylene. Now what is our requirement here? Components in reactor effluent listed in order of decreasing volatility. Now these are the all of these components that are present into these reactions. So we are having the methanol, ethanol, dimethyl ether, ethyl ether, ethylene, and water. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 components in this structure. So we have listed all of these 6 components here in the order of decreasing volatility. So the volatility of this ethylene is very much high, and if we go down, the volatility of water is low compared to the other chemicals. Now, in terms of azeotropes, what we see here, dimethyl ether can have an azeotrope with the water, but not with significant alcohol present. There could be an azeotrope between dimethyl ether and ethanol, diethyl ether and ethanol, diethyl ether and water, ethylene and water. Okay, so these could be the azeotropes that we can have into this process. The mixed alcohol stream is available at relatively low price from a local source, 0.75 per kg. So the cost of the alcohol stream or the mixed alcohol stream, it is 0.75 dollars per kg. However, pure methanol, it is $0.672 per kg, and ethanol, $1.138 per kg streams may be purchased if necessary. So the cost of the pure methanol and the ethanol, it is provided here. The selling price for dimethyl ether, which is required component, diethyl ether and ethylene are $0.841 per kg, $1.75 per kg, and $1.48 per kg respectively. Preliminary market surveys indicate that we can sell up to 15,000 tons per year of the diethyl ether and up to 10,000 tons per year of ethylene. So these are the things that is demanded by the market. So we can have an diethyl ether production up to this capacity, and ethylene production up to this capacity. For a proposed process to produce 50,000 tons per year of dimethyl ether, determine what are the viable process alternatives. Now we are provided with the production or the requirement for the dimethyl ether, and we have to see that what are the different process alternatives. Now, first of all, we have to consider whether we have to select the batch or the continuous process. So it is quite clear that the production requirement, it is above or around 50,000 tons per year. So obviously we have to go for the continuous process. The second step that we need to follow here, it is the input-output structure of the process, in which we will see that what are the inputs to the system. It can be methanol, ethanol, and water. And then we can have all the reactions that can take place, and at the outlet we can have all the components that can be expected from the process. Now what we can actually do, we have to do the calculation in terms of what is the actual requirement. So the main requirement is the production of dimethyl ether, and the production capacity is given there, which is 50,000 it is the 50 million kgs per year. So we can convert this one. We can have this one. We can convert dimethyl ether by dividing it with the molar mass of this dimethyl ether. So we can have the value in terms of dimethyl ether production in terms of kmol per year. Similarly, what we see here, the dimethyl ether, if we are putting this one dimethyl ether into the process, or we can generate this much dimethyl ether from the process, then comparison shows us that for each mole of dimethyl ether, there will be 2 moles of the methanol that can be fed to the system. Now here we can see there, for each unit or for each mole of dimethyl ether, we have to feed 2 moles of methanol and we have to feed 2 moles of the ethanol. So we have to see this basis here, and the same thing we will see here. Now, if each mole of dimethyl ether required 2 moles of methanol, so the annual or the required methanol feed required, it would be 2.174 into 10 raised to the power 6 kmols per year. Similarly, we see that the methanol and ethanol it is in the comparison, and we have seen that the methanol into the mixed feed, it is 88%. However, the ethanol into the mixed feed stream, it is 11%. So we can convert this one from the required methanol to the required ethanol by multiplying this one with the factor 11 and divided with the 88. So this 88% represent you the methanol percentage, and 11% it represent you the ethanol percentage within the feed stream. So we can have the ethanol that is entering with methanol, it is 0.2718 into 10 raised to power 6 kmols per year. Now from here what we can see that we can actually estimate that how much amount of diethyl ether can be produced. So from this one, 0.2718 into 10 raised to power 6 kmols per year, we can divide it with the 2. So we can have an idea that how much of the diethyl ether can be produced. So you have to simply see these reactions, okay? So ethanol, which is here, 2 moles of ethanol, and it can give you 1 mole of diethyl ether. So you have to divide this ethanol with 2 to get the value for the diethyl ether. So the same thing we have done here. We have divided it with the 2 to get the value for the diethyl ether. That comes out to be 9.69 into 10 raised to the power 3 tons per year. Now, what could be the maximum ethylene production from the process? From here, we see that the ethylene which is feeding with the methanol, it is having this value 0.72718 into 10 raised to the power 6 kmols per year. So we can convert this one into the tons per year weight here. Now we have to estimate what is the cost of feed and what is the cost of the product. Now in terms of feed, what feed we have here? We are having 3 feeds here: methanol, ethanol, and water. So we have to we are provided with the value for the methanol, ethanol, and the water. So we will see that what is the cost of the feed here. So 2.174, which is this one, methanol, which is being fed into the system. Now the cost of this methanol, or this this value should be 32 here. So kmols of methanol per year into the molar mass of this methanol, which is 32 here. Then we can have the ethanol here from this stream. We can multiply with the molar mass of this ethanol. Then we can have some water that is being supplied into the process. 88% represent you the methanol, and 18% represent you the amount of 18 represent you the molecular weight of the water. And then we can multiply this one with the factor 1%, which is the amount of water that is present into the mixed stream. Then we can multiply this equation with 0.75, which is actually the value for the mixed stream. Now here you can see that 0.75 represent you the cost of the mixed alcohols, and that comes out to be the total value for the cost of the feed. It will be 58.62 into 10 raised to the power 6 dollars. Now this is a part up to the feed, and now we have to calculate the value for the products. Now for the value for the products, we can have dimethyl ether, we can have diethyl ether, and we can have the value for the ethylene. So we are provided, we have seen that what are the flow rates of dimethyl ether, diethyl ether, and ethylene. We can multiply this one with the cost here, and we will multiply with the molar mass of that respective chemical here. Okay, so we can have the value of all of the value of all of these chemicals, and now we are in the position to see that which process we can choose and which process we can ignore. Now there will be two ways to select types of processes. First one, margin will vary between 42.05, it is the dimethyl ether which is required here, then diethyl ether which is less required here, minus we can have this cost of the feed. Now it will give you the value $0.38 million. So this is having some profit margin of $0.38 million. However, if we are using the other alternative in which we are having the dimethyl ether, and most of the ethylene is most of this ethanol is converted into the ethylene. So what would actually happen, we can have the cost of this dimethyl ether, and then we can have the cost of this ethylene, and at the inlet we can have this cost of the feedstock. Now in this particular case we can have the value minus $5.24 million per year. Now this second alternative, it is giving you the loss in the process. Okay, so we have seen the limits here. So either so the limits of profit and loss, it can vary from $0.38 million to minus $5.24 million per year. Now, what are the important points here, and how you can actually consider that which process alternative you have to choose? Because making ethylene is far less profitable. In addition, the maximum amount of DEE that the market can support is not currently being produced. Therefore, supplementing the feed with ethanol should be considered. Now, it is given here that the ethylene which is having this cost, it is basically the undesired product from the process. So if we can somehow minimize the formation of ethylene, or we try to carry out the reaction number two, then it would be having the more better process economics. So first thing, that ethylene is not required into the process, and secondly, the diethyl ether. So if you look at this one, the maximum production of diethyl ether, it is 9.69 into 10 raised to power 3 tons per year. So this is the maximum production of diethyl ether. However, if you look at the process requirement, we are provided with the diethyl ether requirement of 15,000 tons per year. So from this analysis, what we see here, we are not reaching the production level of the diethyl ether, and also we are producing the undesirable ethylene from the process. Second one, since the main feed stream contains both reactants and impurities, separation or purification of the feed prior to processing should be considered. Now, if we look at the mixed feed stream of methanol, ethanol, and water, we can go for the purification process, in which we can remove the impurities, and water can be removed from the process. So it may give you better process economics. The third one, in order to minimize the production of byproducts, ethylene, the selectivity of diethyl ether reaction should be optimized. Now, if we want to reduce the production of this ethylene from the process, then what we can do here, we have to push the system to go through this reaction, where the 2 moles of ethanol should be converted into diethyl ether. So we can increase the selectivity of this diethyl ether, and we should reduce the formation of ethylene. Now, what kind of process alternatives can be used to optimize this process? First one, that we know that methanol, ethanol, uh, and all of these chemicals are being produced from the system. So first alternative that we can make here, we can recycle the stream of the methanol and ethanol back into the process. Now if you look at this process, we can have mixed streams and ethanol, and we are just putting some additional ethanol into the process, and we want to see that if we are putting more ethanol into the process, so maybe we can have this reaction, the second reaction. And in terms of the recycle structure, what we are doing here, we are separating ethylene, which is undesired. We can get dimethyl ether, which is our requirement. diethyl ether, which is having which we do not actually require here, but it is slightly acceptable. And the methanol and ethanol we are just recycling back into the process. So this is the first alternative that we can make. Now what could be the second alternative, that we separate the we are having this mixed alcohols and ethanol, so we separate the methanol and we separate the ethanol. Now once we have the separation between the methanol and the methanol will mainly produce the dimethyl ether from the reaction number 1, and from the ethanol we can have the ethylene and diethyl ether, and where maximum amount of this ethanol can be recycled back into the process, right? So this could be the second alternative. Now, what could be the third alternative? We can have the mixed alcohols, and we are putting an additional methanol into the process to increase the production of dimethyl ether. Whereas, if you look at the stream here, the feed reactor feed preparation, it is mixed with a methanol recycle, whereas all of this ethanol which is present in this mixed stream, it is being separated here and it is going to the storage. So in one time we can have the utilization of methanol into the dimethyl ether, and we separate the ethanol and send it to the storage, so we can actually try to carry out the reaction number 2 in the second phase of the process. In the first phase we carry out this reaction only, and in the second phase we will try to carry out this reaction, right? So we can have the separate ethanol to the storage section. Now the other alternative that we can see here, we can have the mixed alcohols where we separate the methanol and the ethanol. So the methanol will be sent to the storage, and now we will be only dealing with the ethanol. So the ethanol will be going to the reactor, and we can have the formation of diethyl ether ethylene, which is going out of the system, and only the ethanol is being recycled back into the process. Now we can, as we see that different process alternatives we can form for a single process, we have to calculate the economics of each of the process according to the production rates of each of the desired and undesired chemicals from the process, and then ultimately from the comparative analysis we can see that which process is more reliable and economical from the operation point of view. Now step number 4 and 5, which was general structure of the separation system. Now in the step number 4, in the overall hierarchy of the conceptual design, there was a part for the separation system, so we will deal with that part in chapter number 12. And the last part was related with the heat exchanger network or process energy recovery system, so we will deal with that one in the chapter number 15. So in this chapter we mainly talked about the recycle structures that we have to see, and we have to see that either we can go for the batch or the continuous processes, and then we have seen what is the input and output structure of the process, and then ultimately we have seen that what is a recycle structure and what kinds of recycle structures we can actually use. So I hope that you have enjoyed this lecture, and if you have any question, you can let me know. Okay, thank you.